Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown,
the unofficial sumo podcast
for official sumo fans.
Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown. This is Jake.
And this is Mac.
And today we are here with the reigning United States middleweight champion, Coringa Conway. Welcome back to the show. How you been?
Hello, guys. I'm great. I'm feeling good. Appreciate you guys having me back.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're hoping to chat with a handful of you guys down at Florida Sumo if we can. But yeah, how's your club doing overall since nationals when we talked to you last?
Actually, we've been exploding, and I have a very awesome point to make. You see that wave you have in the back there?
Yeah, the famous Japanese painting.
Yes, sir. So we're looking to expand Florida Sumo. This is an idea that me and a few others came up with while we were here, talking with Sozlon and talking with, of course, Cornbread, Cornelius. Sorry, call him Cornbread, and the other guys. We are going to actually expand Florida Sumo, and we're now going to be soon called Iron Wave Sumo. So we're using that as part of our logo because it's untrademarked. And I think in Japanese, forgive me if I say it wrong, it's like Tetsu Suami or something like that. Yeah, Cornbread says it better than I do. But we're looking to expand next year, especially after Vegas, into Iron Wave Sumo.
Very cool.
Which that means that way. I mean, there's guys that train with, say, Cornelius from Alabama or from surrounding areas, and the idea was we have a certain style of sumo that we're trying to push, like an aggressive style that we're working with Sozlon a lot. We used to do Grand Sumo before he was banished, and we want to push it all over. Cornelius already does seminars, and I figured if we're gonna go to Georgia, nobody wants to wear a gator shirt, in Georgia. So, and I didn't want to be too, I don't want to be too overbearing by saying we call it Iron everything because I have Iron Life here in Florida. So we really had that light bulb moment where the first female that we have, and she should be here soon, I hope, that we have sign up for Vegas actually. I thought she said Iron Rage or something like that. I'm like, did you say Iron Wave? And then we all looked at each other. We're like, Iron Wave.
No, wait, that's actually better. Do that one.
Boom.
Yeah, boom. So we all came up with that. So we're actually using partially that logo in the backseat. So that's what's going on with the club right now. We got quite a few guys competing in Vegas, and we're all really looking forward to it, for sure.
Excellent. So yeah, look at you're kind of looking to set it up like a network of different locations and.
Yeah, I come from a jiu-jitsu background, and you got Gracie Baja, you got all these, it's not like we're looking to franchise so much as we are looking to just kind of spread sumo in the sense that it doesn't have to be a local club, sure. It should be the thing, with everybody, I feel that way with everybody. There's Dark Circle Sumo, there's a bunch of other groups out there, I regulate it to a state, when, say if I want to move to Alaska, and I do one day eventually, because it's cold. I don't hey, I do Florida Sumo in Alaska. That's a weird conversation. So, I wanted to expand it to a point where if somebody wanted to do sumo and they're not I was not comfortable or didn't know much about it, instead of just trying to find the closest person to come teach me a seminar, all right, well, there's actually a network of people here that do sumo. Let's get a hold of Iron Sumo. These guys win nationals. These guys go to Vegas. These guys do this. These guys do that. And same thing with any other group. It's not just us. We are looking to expand and make something more of a I don't want to say syndicate or a cabal or anything, but something a little bit larger.
Yeah. A cartel or something.
I was about to say, well, we won't talk about it, but we'll know. Did you give us that word? We'll know.
Yeah, it just sounded really good, so not that it just sounded good, we really just want to expand sumo as a whole, not just hey, let's get these guys to come to Florida for a day or two. Let's start expanding out, and the wave, it just all really worked out. So we're really excited about that for sure.
On top of that expansion, you guys also had the Iron Belly Sumo tournament. That was an absolute ball. How was it from your guys' perspective? We loved watching it. We loved being a part of that. That was a huge high point of our year for us. But How was it boots on the ground from your end? Because it looked like it was amazing.
Man, we had an absolute blast. But being a person who puts on shows, I was absolutely nervous. I was more nervous. I was more absolutely nervous about more about putting it on, making sure people were happy than I was competing, which sounds silly, I know, but I was when everything started rolling, I loved it. I know you guys helped out a lot. It all came together so well that I can't wait to do it again. And I've been talking with a few different groups. We're going to have it at Europa next year. Hopefully, if it works out timing wise. We thought about doing something a little bit earlier over here on iDrive in January, but I'm going to be doing the Central Florida Highland game, running that show. So we're going to be doing it again. Like, we're going to make that actually a staple. And that's also where we wanted to go with, Iron Wave or Iron something. Is like, well, we already have Iron Belly. Like, let's make this a thing where it's literally going to be an annual thing where we have the Iron Belly like competition. It went off. I got to meet great people. I got to see some people from nationals I haven't seen in a while. From that, we've had a lot of people come and visit and train with us, and we've learned so much. It's just been great. Working with Sozlon has been absolutely amazing. He gave me Barambi's like old robe that he used to train with, which was like the most insanely awesome thing to me. Because just getting into sumo, you're learning about all the stars and all the people that were like popular. And so I already knew about Barambi. So when he handed me like this robe, because he came a couple days before, I'm like, oh man, I really love your robe or kimono. And he's like, oh, my friend, I have something for you. And da, da, da. So after we were competing a little bit, he gave me this robe. He's like, this belonged to my friend Barambi. I'm like, oh my God. Like, really? And yeah. It's like giving me Luke Skywalker's lightsaber, and he's like, "Who's Luke Skywalker?" I'm like, "It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Just give me the thank you." It had a little. I stepped on it a few times because it was a little bit bigger than me, so I ripped it a little bit, but I had it all fixed. But it is one of my favorite things at home, and I covet that thing so much. So not just that, but just meeting so many wonderful people. There wasn't a bad thing. I've had people that have nothing to do with sumo. Come to the show, and it was free for everybody to watch. They just had a blast. Like, and we're really expanding. Like, it really helped us push it quite a bit and really get people going. Like, having females now train sumo, like, for me anyways, that was my biggest deal. I didn't want it to make it where it was like, a bunch of sweaty dudes here on the mats like rolling. I wanted to make it to where like everybody felt comfortable grappling, and I think that was a big deal. Even though we didn't have any females competing on that show, not yet, it did get people more comfortable. Like, some girls actually start trying it out. So the Iron Belly tournament was absolutely like a blast, and I can't wait to do the next one for sure.
Yeah, no, that was so much fun, and yeah, that's hopefully kind of like breaking the seal and having more clubs put on more tournaments during the year and stuff, especially now that we can travel more, gather more, things like that again this year. Yeah, tell us about Sozlon. How'd you guys hook up with an actual former Gashira? I think I can't remember exactly where he ended up in the rankings, but how'd you connect with him?
So he Cornelius actually he lives here in Orlando. Cornelius somehow hooked that up, and when he was telling me about it, I'm like, I don't really know, man. I don't the names, or he named him he called him by his like Japanese like fight name, or his Japanese sumo name, and I still didn't know what it, to me I thought he was talking about Roselon, guy that was in my division in Iron Belly. He's a tough guy too, by the way.
Yes, he looked tough.
He was tough, man. He got one match on me, but that's all I needed to like turn on a little bit. But anyways, Sozlon actually helped officiate some of the matches, and he came in a couple days early and was going over a few things and talking about stuff. Now when he's in town, if he's not like driving, whatever, he comes in for a few days. He trains wrestling with us at jiu-jitsu. He trains when he was coming up before even sumo. He trained wrestling out of the same gym as Khabib Nurmagomedov. Sorry, I'm having trouble with the names. The same gym that Khabib trained out of, wrestling. Wow. And he showed us a lot of stuff. He's a really good dude. And on sumo days, he changed our format quite a bit. Like, we were kind of doing this traditional same warm-up, same this, that, and the other. And he's like, no, we're going to train these two things. One was a movement, one was a stretch. And we just broke it down, or he broke it down. It was over and over and over. Then we had matches doing the same thing. And it really changed our training format quite a bit. and I believe it's making us quite a bit stronger. He really enjoyed the idea of really adding a lot of lifting to the program, which is what I do. I try to reverse engineer a lot of the movements and try to develop some type of programming for us to get better power, better pushing power, etc. He is actually building his own dojo here. I'm saying dojo right. I'm sorry. To actually have everybody train in a proper place. He bought some property a little off from Orlando, so I'm looking forward to that happening. It's going to make it very traditional for
That's
us.
super
So
cool.
yeah, I'm really excited, and whatever I can do to help him with that, I will. And he's just been a really nice part of Iron Life here. So I'm excited to really have him around. He's helped out quite a bit.
For context, yeah, this is Wakanoho was his Shikona, his ring name. And yeah, he I just looked him up just to make sure I was remembering this right. He was only in sumo for about 4 years or so. His career ended because of marijuana, which is a lot more frowned upon in Japan than it is here.
I can tell you the story about that if you want.
Oh yeah.
Last thing on him though, I didn't remember right. He was a Gashira. He made it to Gashira 1, which
I thought he was at least a 3 or somewhere in there.
That's like top 10 in the world,
right?
Roughly. That's like insanely good. He definitely. I'd love to hear the story because all we know about him is just what's on Wikipedia, which is pretty sparse. So what was that all about?
Well, apparently he went over with some of the guys from his house or school. Like they went over to Vegas for some. I don't know. I don't think it was a competition. It was something they were doing, and he partied with a few of the guys. And I guess something. When I mean party, I guess some of them smoked, including himself. And he's the only. When he came back, he was the only one that got, I guess, tested or caught. So he told me they're really kind of trying to push him out anyways because he was a Westerner, and how some things were kind of done unfair. But he's not ashamed of it at all. He really broke it down. He posted his video of them actually. I didn't know he did this. Of them actually cutting his top knot on TV. Like I guess it was a whole ceremony where they, I guess through I don't know if it was sponsors or whatever, they come in, they cut off little bits of the hair, and finally they just cut the top off. I mean, that's crazy. Like I didn't know it was like that hardcore, but he's not ashamed of any of it, and he talks about it, and it was like really like a one-time thing, but it was one of those things to where like, yeah, you messed up this one time and now we got you. So he went with a few of his own guys, and he was the only one that really got popped. But him being here, like he uses a lot of wrestling. He's really known for over the top washi grabbing. There's a few other different techniques that he's known for, but he really does. He's very good at utilizing some of the wrestling that he has with sumo wrestling, and that was a big thing for me because that's what I do. I try to work a lot of the wrestling that we use for MMA or regular wrestling for sumo. So he was a big. He's just been a big like help with that. So he's not a shame guy. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, no. I was just saying, just adding into that, like the different styles, the different contexts, reaching over the mashi, the different wrestling styles. Have you found one particular type, like adding the weight training compared to traditional trainings that they do over in Japan, other in the schools? Have you found other forms of cross training, other forms of strength training have been beneficial to the type of sumo that you're cultivating there?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with some of the techniques he shows. He has a very power, almost like doing like a power shot. For me, that worked out really, really well because, with a penetration step in wrestling, I mean, you put your knee down, but he has this thing where he takes a step and it's a low grab with a mawashi, and then it's a hard frame. He also does a sapari roll from the bottom coming up real high. And me being a little bit shorter guy with a real deep stance and an angle stance, it really helped me a lot develop even more push off of power out of that stance. We also had there was some disconnect because I know in amateur sumo, if you want to call it that, in grand sumo, we wait for the call when both hands are down. With him, we had to, we put our hands down. He's like, what are you guys waiting for? I'm like, we had to, kind of explain to him how it's a little bit different.
The amateur rules are different.
Yeah. And how you can't just literally sapari somebody right in the face, like right off the tachiai. So he's his aggression, especially with his sapari, man, it's near fighting, and I loved it. And that's what I needed. That's what I needed in Iron Belly. That's what I definitely needed in nationals, is to really just get hit in the face or get hit hard enough. Now some of my own guys, like We have Jordan. You guys, he was the young kid that's part of Florida Sumo. We just had a big training weekend here where we had a few guys from nationals, including our own guys from Florida, Florida Sumo. Man, so I got some part busting my lip open. I've had my busting my lip open, and like since I was fighting pro, and it was just a great weekend. We all had dinner at Kobe. Those guys could eat like crazy. But man, the training has been absolutely better. I've utilized a lot of strongman training with it. A lot of stone, a lot of atlas carries, a lot of we use a lot of these barrels for pushing, pulling, putting mawashis around barrels, picking and carrying, a lot of turning. A lot of front squatting, a lot of things you do with football, but a lot of other things that are not so much football. So I was really able to break it down like I usually do for Highland Games or like I do for any other type of sport. But it's been a lot of fun for me because it's just more, for me, it's just more mathematical kung fu to break down to make something better, So I love it, man. It's been a real blast. I really think that I've upped my game quite a bit. That's why while talking with these guys, I'm not too concerned with not putting on 50 pounds at coming in at 253, because I think I would just be a little sluggish and I would lose some of my ability to really move. So for sure.
Gotcha. Yeah. So what's kind of gotten in the way of that? Like, I mean, I know one of the things that we've heard around here is that as small a sport it is, there's a lot of travel involved. Is that what kind of challenges do you guys have in just doing sumo all the time?
That has been our biggest, that's been our biggest thing for having a large group of people training. It's just getting guys, getting different size guys, different size people here to train together. Like I was saying, we have a female girl now that's going to be competing in Vegas with us. She's at the very with a Mawashi on, she's probably 135, 140. So getting somebody to train with her at her size, that's say another female, that's difficult. Like we have Mark Jones, that was in nationals in Iron Belly. That dude's in his 300s, and now Mark's been beating me like on a pretty even basis. Like, so he's gotten really good. So for somebody her size to go push up against Mark has been a little bit difficult. But turns out she's actually quite villainous. Like she's got a headbutt coming off her tachiai that I fear. Yeah, it literally like it gives me memories of when Zanza I think we're in semifinals when he headbutted me in the chest. Like I'm like, oh my god, you're gonna need to get a different partner. So she's that's been the only issue, is really different size guys. When it comes to the big guys, that's not too bad. It's just we can't get different guys on a regular basis. It's why I really wanted to push the Iron Wave a little bit. That way we can really have more of a syndicate to like, hey, let's really put together a meeting, over here in Panama. Let's really put a big meeting over here in Jacksonville. Let's get a seminar going to where, yeah, we'll have matches. It doesn't necessarily have to be in a tournament, but we used to do it a lot in capoeira. Like we're these big hodas is what we called them, street like games where we just all play. And it was every group, all these different groups. So I really want to try to push it in that kind of sense, where you don't have to be, segregated to like, we're just going to be right here training here. We're going to be way over here, like, 1,000 miles away. I want to fix that to where like we can have larger groups. I wouldn't mind another sumo group here in Orlando. Yeah, I would. Actually, that's a lie. Here in like Central Florida. Not Orlando, maybe Central Florida. But yeah. But yeah, here in Morton, Florida, like South Florida group or like wherever. Because that is a big issue. And man, putting a mawashi on a person, that's really it. Like nobody wants to put on a mawashi until they put on a mawashi. And the classic diaper thing we've talked about before, just really breaking it down like, hey, where that really came from? It came from like, parents pulling their kids out of rivers, so they didn't drown, and that's why it's this, that, and the other. It's not a diaper, it's not this. And really try to push it towards my gi guys, because there's a lot of gi grabbing, a lot of gi pulling. I'm like, there's not really much difference. It's like a mixture of gi and no gi, except the gi is only around a certain part of your body.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think if we get past the idea with a lot of people that you don't always have to go traditional, unless you want to, of course, but I don't know why it's burning the chafes, but it really will help the sport a little bit. And I think that's just really about it. With females, like also wearing a singlet is kind of strange. I think if a lot of groups are okay with moving on to maybe say a rash guard or something, I think that would also change things. I think it's just a small little few changes here, and I don't think we should stop wearing a mawashi or anything. But I think the more we open up sumo to everyone instead of it just being this localized group of this, that, and the other, like I think people will start picking up, and that's really my goal for this. Besides being awesome and winning everything I possibly can,
Of course, of course.
You
is
got a good start there. That's for sure. Yeah.
yeah, a galactic empire of some sort. But anyways,
bravo, sir, bravo.
Thank you. It's just to actually just grow it to where, and more people that do it means more people to train with, which means more sparring partners, which means bigger competitions, which means we can really start doing. I'm not saying we do anything like Grand Sumo or get invited to stuff like that, but just really just more people to train with, the better. It's like, who wants to go to like a grappling like open mat when there's like 6 people, and you're always with those same 5 or 6 people, and you can invite people, hey, pork chop. You want to have as many people as possible, and that's what I really want to do with it. So guys, I want to introduce you guys to Lola, or I'm sorry, Pork Chop, who is our first female competitor.
Oh, hello.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, she'll actually be in Vegas competing.
Oh,
so,
awesome.
We're really excited. Yeah. So it's not just some girl that trains it. We're really gonna have her compete and do the best we can. I got her weight training, really pushing a lot of heavyweight, and she is actually a feared person out here, like literally, like I said, with her headbutt. So, and her fingernails. I've been stuck.
She doesn't let any advantage go to waste. I take it.
She gets her fingers and tries to get her fingers in that mawashi. And I tell you what, I have some scars, but don't be mad at me. But yeah, it's been really great. So that was my biggest thing, is to get girls training sumo. If I get females training sumo, then it's really like, why can nobody else? Why not have anybody else like train sumo? Why not a person with one arm? Why not a person who's whatever? It doesn't really matter to me. Like I just want to expand it as much as I possibly can, even if it's not Iron Wave. It could be dark wave, like aluminum. I don't care. I just want I want more people to train it, and that way I have more people to train with, and just really break it out there like it is jiu-jitsu. For example, I know I'm being a little long-winded. For example, I'm trying to get her.
You're fine, man. You're good.
I was trying to get her acclimated to, because she does jiu-jitsu as well. She's, I think, one of my blue belts now. I don't know if I belt people, but it does matter. I got to go watch the first UFC, and I totally forgot that the first UFC had a sumo fighter on it. Literally, sumo versus French savant. And just like it was like a video game. Now I know the guy got his teeth kicked in, and he didn't wear mawashi.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, no, it was bad. It was bad.
Yeah. But the fact is, like, it's still regarded as a martial arts. Like, why not have, like, it is a legit martial arts. It's not just a sport. Like, why it needs to expand. I feel it should expand like jiu-jitsu or something like that. There's no reason for it. That's my goal. I know I keep saying that over.
No, that's an amazing goal. I mean, that's honestly why we do what we do. We want to expand it. We want to highlight as much as we can. And honestly, with everything that's going on the USA side, this is what we want to hone in on and say, look, this is out there. Get involved.
Break the stigma. Yeah. I mean, there's everybody I've shown sumo to, likes it for some reason or other, that, it's kind of weird. It's kind of niche. And especially the more we get to talk to you guys, like, it's clearly also fun to do if you can get past that stigma, right? But yeah, it is. So like, speaking of your other teammates here, what kind of roster are you guys expecting to bring to Vegas?
Okay, so we're definitely going to bring. We got Cornelius, who actually has been competing a little more often than some of the rest of us. Mark Jones is going to be there with us. He, did really well at Iron Belly. He won 2 divisions there. I will definitely be there. I've even been holding back from a lot of rolling live and doing a lot of stuff just to stay uninjured. We're bringing Pork Chop, who's going to be there, who's our female competitor. We think Tyler Benoit is going to be there as well, number 4, as we like to call him.
You guys give him a lot of crap.
truthfully, guys, it's me that gives everybody crap. Like that's all I do is troll people. And you know what? Actually, Pork Chop does that too. We all ate at Kobe. She took video of these guys like eating all this Kobe like rice and noodles like slowly and just like looking at each other. I'll send you guys a really funny video, Cornelius. Anyways, and we would just send these videos out and just I don't know. You got to have fun. If you're not having fun, it's not worth it. You know that saying, "Oh, it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense." For me, I mean, yeah, that's true too, by the way. But for me, if you're not that,
it is also your
for
livelihood,
me,
right?
yeah, it's your livelihood.
It's my livelihood. For me, if it's not fun, then it's not worth me competing and trading it. I left pro fighting MMA because I noticed I wasn't doing it to have fun anymore. I was doing it more to just fit in, or like, hey, you know, who wants to train with a coach that doesn't actively compete or whatever. So that's why I left pro. It wasn't fun with me anymore. I didn't want to be that guy with a hood on, like I said this before, like wearing earphones and rocking back and forth. That's not me. I'm always laughing, pranking, and joking. You know, changing the red corner to blue corner and putting it on a, you know, on the guys where all the mops and stuff are. You know what I mean? So, you know, if you're not having fun, then why bother? Like that's not fun for me. You know?
Yeah.
Great
So-
philosophy.
We talked about it last time, but yeah, your nickname Coringa, that means Joker, right?
Joker.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
that-
And that's
absolutely
it.
fitting.
It is, and I want to say because you know DC wise and you know Joker, but it's really class clown Joker is finally given. So I don't think the Brazilian that named me at the time even knew who the Joker was. But when I tell people that, they're all like, "Oh yeah." And I do the cool smile thing. Yeah. But it really is like class clown kind of thing. And I mean, it's fun. I have a blast. And if I'm not having a blast, then I go ahead and look for something else. And I've found sumo to be the most absolutely like most fitting, fun thing for me. I'm not in any of the politics. I'm not in any boards. I'm not in any whatever. I put on a show. You know, I didn't care about making money. It just made money enough to bring, you know, people here to like officiate it. You know, I'm not into it for that. Like, I don't want to be involved in the politics of it. I want to be able to put on more shows, more people to compete, and just spread the word of sumo. That way, like I just said before, it's just bigger and bigger. And I want to have fun doing it. And you know, that's what it is for me. That's why I've kind of backed away from Highland Games. I stepped back from being the president of the foundation there. I wasn't. It turned into more politics. I was competing less. I was hearing more about people complaining about this rule or that rule, and for me, that I'm like, you know, why am I doing these 2-3 hour Zoom meetings about, you know, random insurance bullshit when I'm sorry, big bullshit, but like it wasn't fun. I did it to do like sumo. I did it to throw more and make games better. And when it became more about people who weren't even athletes complaining about nonsense, I'm like, I don't need to do this anymore. I'm going to take a step back. You know, I'm going to go to something. I'm really want to focus on something I find that is absolutely fun for me. I have not found a negative person. I'm not sure there's negative people everywhere, but I haven't found a negative.
Yeah, I'm doing my best to bring everyone down.
And I'm fighting you, actively fighting you.
I haven't found a truly negative person in sumo at all. I found people that take it pretty seriously on comp day. Like Ruslan, for example, he was taking it pretty seriously. Comp day.
You could tell.
Yeah. Sansa too. He and I became really cool friends afterwards. Sansa, he as well. Like Mongolians are pretty serious, and so are Russians. But afterwards, like it was really great. And they're all really good people. And I've really found sumo just to be that really cornerstone of people coming together and just like shirts off, let's just like belly bump and have a good time. You know?
Yeah, that's kind of funny. I mean, going back a little bit to like the idea of there being like the stigma around sumo. I really enjoy that, like the amateur scene. You get all sorts of shapes. You know, you got guys that look more like the stereotypical sumo wrestler. We got guys that just look like power lifters. It's clearly like everybody's in it for the hobby, and there's really the only door that, you know, is stopping people from joining it is just knowing about it and the stigma of, you know, putting on the belt and trying it out. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I also, you know, there's one more thing about that with not just the belt, like when Washi actually is the biggest deal, but I would say number two, and I have zero power in this. And I would actually like to hear your opinion on this as well. I think I really think there should be more weight classes. Not that we should divide the ones that we have in the upper divisions already. Like 80, 185 or 187 is I mean, for me, that was like my heaviest fight pro playing. Myself fighting as a pro, like I fought at 70 and 65. I really think I saw some guys at nationals. I think you guys did too. Like there's some guys there that are like 165, like 155, doing their best. And I'm not gonna lie, man. Like I do like the big guy matches, but it's just these smaller guys that go at it. They go at it hard. There's singles involved. Like, I just think maybe if we added some more weight classes, or maybe even just one, like a 155 or whatever. I know that doesn't even make sense because it's sumo wrestling. Excuse me. I love liquid death, but so bubbly. Um, 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 I think it would actually invite more people, because that's one thing I hear a lot too. Besides the Muashi is like, well, oh my God, well you're 200 and some odd pounds. Like, I mean, you're going against these guys that are, 400. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm in a weight class, and yeah, we at the end we have an open just like anything else, like an absolute in jiu-jitsu, but I'm in a weight class. Well, what's the smallest guy? I only weigh this much. I'm like, well, I guess it's 187. You're 160. I mean, but guys still compete at that. Try it. You know what I mean?
You brought up the early UFC, where I think the first time they had any weight class was like, wasn't it like they called 205 pounds lightweight or something like that?
Yeah, that was a lightweight.
UFC single digit something.
Right. And now that they've been opened up, now the lightweight, I'm not saying this would happen, but now the lightweight class is the biggest or the most popular weight class. It's like, not that I don't like, all the big guys, in the heavyweight divisions, but I mean, the fights you want to see are like the Conor McGregor's versus, this guy, that guy, and, Cowboy Cerrone, and, those are the fun fights, because these guys move. Not that that I'm saying I need guys to move a lot faster in sumo, but what I'm saying is, like, just the more you open it up to people and not shut off things, like, hey, you can only do this because of this. You can only weigh this much, or you can only wear a singlet as a female. Like, girls, like, when I was telling Pork Chop about a singlet, she's like, "How's a singlet?" And I'm like, "Oh, well, kind of wearing wrestling and like WWF." I'm like, "Well, technically it's WWE, but yeah, WWE. Yeah, well, yeah." But yeah, like, why not rash guards for females? Like, they would feel more comfortable, I think, wearing a Muashi if it was like a rash guard, for example. Smaller weight classes, more weight classes for girls, like more weight classes for guys. Smaller Muashi. I mean, that would also mean smaller Muashis. I don't know. I kind of asked around a little bit, but there seems to be some monopoly on only wider black Muashis here. And I know a white Muashi or uncolored Muashi is like a train. Talk to Sozlon is considered a training Muashi.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, this is what guys are competing in. Like, we're competing. That's not training. Like, I know it's not Grand Sumo, and we're nowhere near that level, and there's a whole level of differences there. But give people a chance to, like, show color. And I think the more you can label it, like, I'm not gonna lie, I've dyed my Muashi gray for metal, iron, whatever, and I've done the same thing for Pork Chop, and I guess that is going to be allowed as long as it's a solid color and there's no fray. So I had to look into that quite a bit, actually. I've seen some other folks, man, but I'm not saying we have tie-dye Muashis, but let's open it up a little bit to where we're not changing the rules, but we're just opening it up to a bigger platform. Like, if your team colors are, I keep using dark circle sumo because they're a known group. Like, if their colors are, I don't really know what their colors are. Let's just say black and red.
Whatever. Black and white, sounds I think.
Right. Black and white, right? All right. Well, that's not a good analogy then, because that's
sorry.
Really
I think Ohio uses some red.
Yeah, Ohio uses red.
Right. Oh, Appalachian sumo.
Yep. Appalachian sumo. Yep.
Appalachian sumo. John Mauser, that guy's a strong man who like Mauser blocks. I saw him at Mr. Olympia. But yeah, why not have red Muashis? Why not have like gray Muashis? Why not have like these? I agree with single colors, but open it up a little bit. I think that would help out a lot. More weight classes, and different color Muashis. And I'm sure there's other things I could think of if given the chance. But I think the more you open it up, like without really changing the tradition, I think you'll get more people to really join up. I think it's right now it's to the point where it's just you're cutting off people. Why? I love the fact that there's I think there's a sumo anime. I know because everybody talks about it on the group chat.
Sumo.
I wish I could watch it if I had some time. but I don't. Running a business and going through divorce and having kids, and I love video games. But anyways, there should be more. There should be more things to open up to sumo, and that's my biggest thing. So just let's not just. I've seen guys put patches or slides on their washi. I don't know if that's a ranking thing or just shows their club. I ask guys when I see this, I'm like, I see you have this red thing that goes across your washi. What does that mean? Is that I don't really care for rankings too, by the way. I don't think they're, that also could be an option. Ranking for people might make people join, but I think that's the wrong idea. Because I think you get a lot of people, like in jiu-jitsu, for example, like there's a blue belt syndrome. Once you get, that's the hardest belt. And the reason why I say that is once you become a blue belt, a lot of people just like, all right, well, man, did the jiu-jitsu thing, walked away.
I made it.
So I don't know.
We're good.
Yeah, I made it. Yeah, you'll see guys get their blue belt and you won't see them for months. So I don't think ranking is a thing.
That's bigger in the Texas clubs a little bit, I think.
Yeah, the Texas clubs really like that.
They got Tom Zabel down there, who literally wrote the book that I keep, and there's
over on my shelf too.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I totally agree about the barriers thing. I think we were just joking with somebody a week ago. Was that Caleb? Maybe I was joking.
Yeah, I think it was Caleb.
Hey, give me a featherweight and I'll give it a try. But like,
yeah.
But as is the lightweight guys. Yeah, I mean, for me, like if I was in fighting shape, yeah, we're talking like 160, 170. Sure, why not?
Why not?
I totally agree. That'd be fun.
I have a great example. I just judged a Tampa Bay Classic strongman. The guy who runs that, Donnie, he's a really good friend of mine. He's put it on for 10 years. And when I was judging it, I had some guys train here for some of the events. And when I was judging, some of the guys came up to me like, hey, I know you do Orlando Strongman. If you did a 181 weight class, which is legal at Worlds for the Worlds thing that we have for Strongman, like if you open up that weight class, I know you usually don't have it. I guarantee you we'll get at least 6-7 guys in that weight class for you. And I'm like, well, done. All right. So now, like, those were the first guys to sign up as soon as I open up that weight class. And that's strongman. I know it's not sumo, but strongman, it was like supposed to be like Bill Kazmaier and all these guys that are huge. Dimitar, who trains here, you're like almost 400 pounds. Like now you have guys that are 181 pounds doing strongman, lifting stones, things like that. So why not do it for sumo, man? A 165 weight class.
Yeah.
That's a big deal. I saw a lot of guys that definitely were not 187 competing at nationals, and that were like doing really well and are killing it. So I don't see why there shouldn't be. Like I said, I have nothing in the politics of it, but that's just my viewpoint on it. I didn't even know there's a book. By the way, you said you had on your shelf. Like,
oh yeah,
I'm open to read everything.
We'll hook you up.
Yep, we'll get you there.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I was like, man, you said book. I'm like, look, there's a book.
Oh yeah, there's books.
Yeah, I've read some old stuff, but not nothing like anybody current that's actually running.
Oh yeah, no, he's a guy that hopefully you'll get to meet him in Vegas too. But yeah, there's a guy down in Texas, Tom Zabel, who wrote a book, and he runs a lot of like the ranking system stuff that they use at the clubs down there, and just kind of international standards and stuff.
He was one of the main gyoji at the nationals event.
Yeah,
he was the tall one. He was the really big tall one.
Yeah, I'll show you after we record here. But no, I'm happy to help. We should probably wrap up here though. So real quick, Coringa, why don't you tell us a little bit more about how people can get in touch, especially people down there in the Southeast who want to join Iron Wave Sumo.
Soon to be Iron Wave Sumo.
Yeah.
Soon to be Iron Wave. That's going in the process now. All they have to do is contact me and Coringa Iron Life Coach on Instagram, or Cornelius, who is still Florida Sumo. Cornelius Booker is his name. If they just want to get in contact with any of us, that's all you got to do. Like to train sumo here at Iron Life is absolutely free. We charge no one to come visit. We don't do a match fee. Even if you live in the area, we don't charge anything. All you got to do is contact me either on email, ironlifeathletics.com, or theliftingdead@gmail.com, or on Instagram.
I still love that. The Lifting Dead.
Yeah. It's on my belt too. I love it.
Nice.
In fact, oh my God, that just makes me think of another Gmail that I need to go ahead and get now before somebody picks it up.
We won't say anything.
Nope.
All right, cool. But yeah, they can find me that on Instagram, Iron Life Coach, or Florida Sumo, Cornelius Booker. And then just we'll set up something. We'll even set up something during the week to train. Right now, we train on Sundays and we do a few things during the week. But as soon as they get a hold of me, as soon as they get in touch with me, they just get here. We're happy to train with anybody, and we have a bunch of extra muwashis that we'll tie on folks.
Excellent.
So bring
Awesome.
a mouth guard.
Yes, bring a mouth guard.
Yeah.
Excellent.
And sign the waiver. That's it.
That one's probably important.
Yep. Do that.
All right. Well,
Yep.
yeah. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you in Vegas, and so find Coringa on Instagram, etc., and make sure to catch the North American Sumo Championships Saturday, December 11th in Las Vegas. Coringa will be there, looking to win that unified middleweight light heavyweight division, and Grand Sumo Breakdown will be there for ringside commentary. But thanks again, Coringa. Stick around. I'll get you that information on that book. But thanks for joining us.
You guys stay metal.
Thank you for listening to Grand Sumo Breakdown. Until next time,
Throw your salt high.
and keep moving forward.